So this isn't the video I was originally planning to make tonight. I was planning on doing like my Dragon Ball Z Kakarot review, or doing something else Dragon Ball related, because as you know I've been on a Dragon Ball binge. And then I find out about this. So I was at work, talking with my friend, and we were talking, ironically, about Akira Toriyama's involvement with the later Dragon Ball series being GT and Super, and just to what level he was involved with each of those and what level he wasn't, stuff like that. And then right as I'm talking about this, I get a notification on my Discord from someone in the Discord sharing with me that Toriyama has died. Of course, I checked multiple sources to make sure that this wasn't a hoax, and I'm sad to say that it's not. Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, has died. Life is surreal. Like I said, we were just talking about him, and then all of a sudden I see this thing saying, hey, he died. Akira Toriyama was a legend. He's one of the greats. He's one of the best and most influential manga artists. He's a god in the world of manga and anime. Toriyama brought us Dr. Slump, he brought us Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and the rest of the expanded Dragon Ball world wouldn't exist without him. Now, I've had my criticisms of Toriyama's writing in some cases in the past, but you can't deny the man was amazing at what he did. Toriyama's work all had a unique, distinct style that was unmatched and charming as hell. Everything he created, everything he drew, had a magic to it that couldn't be matched. His character designs, his world designs, his unique storytelling, it made Toriyama's work all that more special. If it weren't for Toriyama's amazing artwork, games like Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger wouldn't be anywhere near as good as they are now. Toriyama's art brought those characters and stories to life, and his own manga work created entire worlds with their own mythologies, with their own developed lore, his own afterlife, his own set of species, different roles, languages. The Dragon Ball universe is super expansive, and the fact that Dr. Slump also ties into it is also a factor, like, that's in the Dragon Ball universe as well. Toriyama liked writing light-hearted comedies, and who'd have thought that a light-hearted adventure comedy that he started as a gag manga about a little monkey boy going on an adventure to find 7 magic orbs would evolve into one of the biggest franchises in the world. And it's crazy to think that Toriyama would go out, both on the Year of the Dragon and the 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball itself. Dragon Ball is not just a manga, it's not just an anime, it is a cultural phenomenon. Countless video games, mangas, animes, spin-offs, sequels, whatever. There's a ton of stuff out there. It's one of the most expansive and huge franchises in existence, and it makes a ton of money and it's super successful. Dragon Ball is part of our culture. It's part of the world's culture. It's part of the cultural zeitgeist. And Dragon Ball is only scratching the surface of Toriyama's extensive bibliography of work he's had with decades in the business. Dragon Ball is inspiring to people. It makes people want to better themselves when they see the characters training and getting stronger. And the messages and morals that each of the different sagas in the story has give people's life that much more joy. People see these messages and they resonate with people. And these unique characters and their different morals and the things that Toriyama did with these characters are unique and unparalleled. Toriyama was an artist taking the series in the direction that he wanted to take it. Now, that's not to say he didn't listen to feedback, because, as most of you probably know, the Android saga radically changed over time because Toriyama took in input and feedback to change it. The same is true with the Buu saga and plenty of other points. But the point is, it was his series, and he was a driving force behind it. I think that's one of the reasons that the Super movies are better than the Super TV show, is because Toriyama was a lot more involved with those. And he exemplifies everything I like in a true artist, in that he had fun with it. All the inconsistencies and issues with certain parts of the story just add to the charm because Toriyama was just writing it and having fun. I always made fun of some of the stuff that was, inconsistent or didn't make any sense. But that is part of the fun, right? That's a feature when it comes to Toriyama's writing. That's not to say Toriyama's a bad writer. Toriyama was an amazing writer. It's just he wrote the series for really, really long, so obviously there were going to naturally be some plot holes. But Toriyama's writing style brings a charm to Dragon Ball that nothing else has ever matched. Dragon Ball might not be my favorite manga, and it might not be my favorite anime, but I think it is one of the most important anime and manga to ever exist. It single-handedly defined the tropes, for better or worse, that shonen anime would be. Battle shonen would be nothing if it weren't for Dragon Ball. If it weren't for Dragon Ball, we would never have things like Naruto, My Hero, Demon Slayer. Any of these battle shonens you see out there would be nothing without Dragon Ball. Toriyama was a pioneer. He redefined the genre with this story, which again, evolved into something that I'm sure he had no idea it would be as big as it was. Not only did Toriyama make characters and a world, he made a whole universe. Several universes, actually. But on top of that, you also got to see Goku's entire family. For multiple generations, you had Goku, Gohan, Pan. Those are the ones by Toriyama himself directly. But as you go on, you know, if you count in other stuff that Toriyama himself didn't exactly do, there's stuff like Goku Jr. Dragon Ball's unique in that it's one of those series where you get to see a family progress through multiple generations. Dragon Ball's a series that can make you laugh with its goofy humor, it can make you feel pumped up and inspired with its badass battles, and it can make you cry with its sad moments. There's nothing quite like Dragon Ball, because it's sci-fi, it's fantasy, it's adventure, it's action, it's so many things crammed into one. The anime and the video games have brought me countless hours of joy. The characters have been a huge inspiration to me. It's an amazing series, and an amazing author who created it. Akira Toriyama may be gone, but he sure as hell will never be forgotten.